What's up everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to drift on Assetto Corsa in any map you want. Today I'm specifically in a Stoker map. If you ever watch Initial D, you will know this is one of those places where they race. This video isn't mainly about racing, it's more about how to have fun in the map, just drift around, do typical car shit. So we're gonna I'm gonna list you a couple steps first. So you want to choose a car that you're comfortable with, that doesn't have insane amount of power. It's not super light as a starter, since you want to know what your car is like. More powerful cars need more experience to drift with. So the Supra drift version. Supra is the perfect car to learn how to drift. If you don't like long wheelbase cars or medium wheelbase cars, you can always pick up the AE86 drift version or the tuned version, depending on what you like. But that car doesn't really have a lot of power, so I would recommend using the drift Supra we have here. So step one, you want to make sure your gears are the way you like. Usually you won't be drifting at 4th or 5th or 6th gear. Those are only for going fast, not drifting, unless you're doing some crazy shit, which you can do in the future after learning how to drift. So usually for maps like this with small straights, you want to have a longer gearbox. I mean, as you drift, the corners are kind of tight, so you don't want to be shifting constantly, just keep in one gear. So I would recommend using the Toyota Supra drift version with 15 to 47 final gear ratio. Second thing we're gonna look at is your tires. You can always choose street tires if the car has too much grip, but for the car I'm driving, the Supra, you wanna use the semi-slicks with this pressure setup. This is just a basic setup. If the car is still too grippy, you can always increase the pressure of the back tires, but I wouldn't recommend this, since as tires get hot, the pressure goes up. Fuel, I wouldn't touch that. Electronics is an important one for this car. I would always recommend checking if the car has ABS, traction control, and turbo control. You can set up a bind on your wheel on your controller to set the turbo pressure rate, like the percentage here. I recommend using 90% on the Supra. It's more spicy. The rest I wouldn't really touch. These are more advanced stuff that you can change in the future, but I would recommend watching some other video for that. So once we are in the game here, after you set stuff up, you want to be sure you have your apps open here. So the main apps you want to have open, if you don't know the track, is the track map, the tires. The main reason you want to have the tires is you can see the pressure on the tire, the heat, plus the wear. More wear means less grip, more drift, or less uncontrollable car. For this video I'm gonna keep the clutch, gas, brake rectangles there that show what percentage I'm giving gas, brake, clutch, so you can understand what I'm doing. This is just your basic gears. Another thing you want to be sure about is this view you have here. So as you can see, I set this up the way I like. You can always go to onboard settings and change this to get this app like right, left, up, any way you want. Just make sure it's perfect the way you want it. To get that, click on all apps, just search onboard settings, and you should be able to get it right there. Another thing, that's it as a car setup goes. Now let me show you how to drift with the car. So one thing you don't want to do is always put this gas pedal full in. Like, you can hear the car screaming for help basically. This is pretty annoying. I usually recommend lowering the engine audio for this. What you want to do is get on the road, put it to second gear with the gear settings I showed you. As you can see, I just give some gas and start sliding. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn into the corner like that. Over here, I'm gonna show you. Give gas, leave the gas off, and counter steer. So this is easy steps. See? That's basically a slide right there. Right now we're not using any clutch, it's counter steer and lift off throttle. So we're driving, a little bit of brake there. You might need clutch to turn that corner. As you can see, the car is just sliding around. This often count this as a full drift. This is probably what your first try is gonna look like. So what you want to do is, as you can see the blue bar down there, you want to use your clutch. So let's say here, I just give some brake, counter steer, and give some gas. The way you would know how much the counter steer is just by learning, by testing. You won't just magically be able to take the first drift you can ever do. Like here, as you can see, I'm not like a pro master at this, so you can see this as from like a learner's view as well. Like this corner, give some clutch, put the gas in, drop the clutch, you can slide the corner pretty well. You can see if you just give gas, the car will just start going. Now you might want to change your gearing depending on the track you're driving or track you're trying to drift on. Just give gas, wait the weight shift, brake a bit. Oh, see, third gear wasn't the best gear to take that, or at least we were a little too fast for that. So set your gears the way you like them. You can use a stock here, 90% turbo. Another thing I would be saying is the camera angle you're using. It's most comfortable to use the first person camera since you just know you can just see the whole road rather than half of the road on the second person camera. Or third person actually. What you want to do is you just take this, give it a bit of brake, then give gas. Here, give it a little brake, give gas. Just connect those two. Give brake and put gas. Now clutch is not something I usually use, even though it's like main part of the drift. It's clutch control or gas control, but you don't really need to use the clutch if you're just like setting how much pressure you're putting on the gas. Like here, if I want to take this turn, full gas, then just like blip the gas. As you can see, I just spun out. That happens because you put too much gas in. So as you can see, the car just wants to naturally slide on its own. I'm not using any handbrake, it's just gas, brake, and clutch control here. You do not want to take a corner with high speed with it when you're trying to drift, because the car, a little bit of handbrake right there. You're not gonna drift every corner you see, just like this one here. I didn't really have the for that. Another thing you want to be sure of is starting a drift before the corner starts, so you're already sideways before you enter the corner. Then you can use brake and gas to control how much you're doing. Like here, before the corner started, I started slipping. A little bit of brake to go the other way, just weight shift the car. Driving, just brake, gas. Here, I'm gonna use some handbrake. When you're using your handbrake, make sure you put the clutch in, or your car's just gonna stall like this. You don't want this to happen, so you kind of drift and not stop in the middle of the track. Just a little bit of brake. I'm not gonna hold it drift there. You usually would clutch in for that. The clutch in and hold that. Most people use clutch in place of brake here. I would recommend using brake if you're driving bad like this, that is really tight. You don't have the time to get some speed up. See, I just lost the drift there. I can't really get it back because there's not a straight and there's a straight right here, so not everything is gonna be perfect. The reason I'm keeping these parts where I just spun out, get out of the road, just to show you that not everything is gonna be always perfect or the way you want it to go. Here, just watch my gas, brake, and clutch in. This car really doesn't need the. You don't really need to use a clutch in. This car spins itself. But on a less hype or less powered heavy car, you might want to use the clutch in. See, fourth gear here. Good spin, but I'm too fast. I can't really turn that. You do not want to use high gears, or rather high speed, I would say, rather high gears. Lower the gear, the more torque you have, and more torque you have is less grip you will have. So the equation is basically, or the if statement, basically if torque is big, grip is low. When the RPMs are at the top, the torque is maxed out, so that's when you do not have any grip. About using the brake. If you're using the brake, what you're doing is shifting the weight of the car. And when you shift the weight of the car, you just put the front tires, most of the weight on the front tires, and the rear tires just stay. Rear tires get lifted up, that's what happens. So there's less grip on the rear tires, and you just hit the gas. This method, I believe, is called I'm losing. I'm forgetting English. Inertia or inertia drift, as you can see. This car is way more better at uphills since it has that power. A little clutch in there. I can't really drift on camera, but I have some parts where I have drifted this car. Let's find one of those. No, it should be before this. Yeah, like this one, where I spin out. Okay. Nope. Yeah, this one, for example. Just look at the gas, clutch, brake control. I know I spun out here, but just watch the video. Just not full gas, as you can see, just a little bit of gas. When you want to speed up, of course you're gonna hit the gas. Here I put clutch in, then give gas, so the weight resets, the weight shit of the car resets. Here I give some throttle blips. I don't always full throttle, but for this part I feel confident, so just full throttle it, and that's where this happens. So if you give a lot of speed, a lot of gas in a corner, you will always spin out because the back tires will be overspinning the front tires at a ratio where the car just can't hold on, and the front tires just get that grip. Here, just give clutch and give gas. As you can see, it's not the perfect drift, but again, this goes over time. And believe me or not, this is like my first time actually drifting on this map. Other times I was just racing. So you can always learn. There's always more places to improve yourself in. Just hit a like, subscribe if you have any issues or more information you want. You can always write comments down. I can explain it better, but without using my broken English. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm just gonna hand it over here.